Yeah, the Hispanic community is definitely feeling the impact, but they are not alone. Across the city, people share the same worries: racial profiling, families being torn apart, and the economic hit that New Orleans could face. Fears beyond the Hispanic community.
There is a sentiment of fear, which is natural, just because people feel like they could be targeted because of the color of their skin.
Samia Sullivan is the president of the Pakistan Community Association and says that's a big concern, even though many neighbors have lived here for years.
This is home to so many people, professionals, that we have physicians, we have lawyers, we have businessmen.
Former U.S. Representative Joseph Gao is one of many immigrants in the city. For Gao, two things are true.
On the one hand, that people should come over the United States through a legal mechanism, through legal means. But at the same time, I do feel for those who are being separated from their family.
He can relate, as he was separated from his family in Vietnam.
It was very traumatic for me. And I believe that it does leave certain emotional scars.
Not only is the urgent call right now to deal with ensuring that families don't get torn apart, ensuring that Black and brown human beings are not violated. City Council and the mayor-elect need to be thinking about the severe economic pain that we will experience as a result of what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish.
Mitch Gonzalez brought those concerns to City Council today before protests broke out.
It means landlords not getting paid the rent owed to them. It means grocery stores having far less people buying their food. It means a huge hit to the hospitality industry, which is like a core of the New Orleans economy.
Operation Catahoula Crunch just began yesterday, and already within 24 hours, dozens of arrests have been made. The Associated Press says that under this operation, 5,000 arrests are planned. Live in New Orleans tonight, Alyssa Gomez, WDSU News.
And we have new video from Marrero that shows federal agents chasing a woman as she ran home.
Yeah, CNN is reporting the woman was born and raised in Louisiana and was chased to her home as she was walking back from the grocery store. Video shows her making it to her house and then her stepfather confronting the agents before they got in their cars and left.
Because of scenes like that, local groups have been trying to help some people who are scared, and they say they don't want to leave their homes.
Yeah, WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor joins us live in Kenner with the very latest on the outreach efforts coming together. Shay?
Stella and Travis, we're actually hearing from one local church. They're called Lagar Sagaro, who pretty much say that they just want to help. Now, they're one of many organizations and churches that I've been speaking with across the greater New Orleans area who tell me that they've been raising money to bring groceries straight to Hispanic families who have decided to shelter in place for the duration of the deployment, all to avoid being detained and racially profiled, even if they have legal status. The church is also giving money to families who might need assistance paying their bills, since many people are missing out on work right now.
Everyone's just feeling the need to stay locked in, literally locked in. Some of the people that we bring, food to, it's a sad sight, to see them locked in, literally like, it's kind of like COVID, but even worse. COVID, you can go out with a mask. Most people just can't go out at all.
Now, we're also hearing from advocates. We'll hear much more from them at 6 p.m. who just talk about the importance of supporting our Hispanic-owned businesses at this point. Many are reporting that their business is way down, has been down all week. I'll have much more on this at 6 p.m. Reporting live from Kenner, Shay O'Connor, WDSU News.
And for more on the Catahoula Crunch or to get a list of resources, you can go to our website or download the WDSU mobile app. New on WDSU Now and happening in just 30 minutes, a town hall to address the violence against young men in Hammond.
It comes on the heels of an 18-year-old UL student from New Orleans being killed there Sunday after Thanksgiving. Jermaine Stevenson was gunned down as he was waiting for a hair appointment at the Town and Country Shopping Center. His mother tells us that the suspect knew Jermaine and had targeted him previously.
So this ain't new what they done to him, but it's just like they wasn't gonna be satisfied till he was dead. You see what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. Like, I've been dealing with this same situation from this same crew of boys forever with my child. Forever.
Tonight's town hall, called the All Kings Men event, is calling all men to stand up. It's happening at 5:30 p.m. at the Black Heritage Center in Hammond, which is on Phoenix Avenue.
Well, justice delayed.
A ruling in the Archdiocese bankruptcy case didn't happen as expected today.
WDSU investigator Aubrey Killian was at federal court to explain what is holding up the decision. Aubrey, why the delay?
That's right, survivors expected a ruling today, but in a twist, that all changed. In closing arguments, attorneys for the diocese said this is nothing short of extraordinary. But Judge Grable says she needs to review objections from Travelers Insurance. They're not contributing to the $230 million deal for hundreds of sex abuse survivors. Travelers Insurance questioning how much they could be on the hook for. I spoke with attorneys for survivors and the Archbishop after court.
In which we hope and pray that she will be able to do that. So we're not taking what happened today in a negative way, but in a positive way, that more discussion needs to happen, but that we are hopeful and confident that it can be done on Monday.
Cop out. This was all done by human beings. This has been the nastiest, ugliest case I've ever been involved in. And keep in mind that Greg Amon did not step foot until this courthouse until the 5-year anniversary.
Statements from survivors will also be put into the record before Judge Meredith Grable makes her ruling. Aubrey Killian, WDSU News.
Let's talk sports. The Green Wave getting ready for their conference championship game that could send them to the college football playoff.
Yeah, it's a big night. Tulane will be facing North Texas at Yulman Stadium.
Sports anchor Sharif Ishak has a preview of the big game and possibly some breaking news on the head coach.
Close. It looks like they're getting close, and it could possibly be defensive coordinator from LSU, Blake Baker, but it's not official just yet. But that's where it's heading toward, Blake Baker being Tulane's next head coach. Look, we got a lot of green in this game. Mean green, green wave, green.
Yeah.
A lot of green on the weather map. A lot of green could be
Green
won.
like the money green.
Yeah, money green for the team that wins the game. All right, no idea what the weather will look like when this game kicks off tomorrow night, but both North Texas and Tulane really don't care. They said just, come on, bring on the rain. They know what's on the line in this game. The winner gets to play in the college football playoff for the first time in program history. If the Green Wave wants to make that dream come true, they'll need to slow down a North Texas offense that leads the country in total offense and scoring, plus a quarterback who's first in passing yards.
Tempo is fast, but just getting lined up, getting your cleats set and lining up, communicating. That's going to be the biggest thing because they're going to go fast, and we know that. They're air raid offense, just similar as FAU. They want to take shots down the field. They want to run the ball. So just being able to get our cleats set, lined up, communicate, and settle down early, I think we'll be fine.
And prior to kickoff Friday night between Tulane and North Texas, we'll have a special highlighting the Green Wave rolling into a championship, which airs at 6:30 right here on WDSU. This will be the fourth meeting between the Mean Green and Green Wave, with Tulane winning the first 3 games. They beat North Texas 45-37 last season in Denton, Texas. We'll see what happens with Blake Baker if it comes official at some point in the next 24 hours. But it's trending in that way for Tulane to have Blake Baker as its next head coach.
All right, it's going to be big news if it's official, so keep us posted, Sharif. Thank you. A viral video from Tulane Avenue has people looking closer at the roads, the 2 areas that's prompting new public safety concerns. So in this week's Road Patrol, concerns from people taking center stage.
A video from a New Orleans woman is getting millions of views on social media because it shows a very active water hole right on Tulane Avenue. Now people all over are invested in finding out what's causing it.
Yeah, in the French Quarter, one man has similar safety concerns. WDSU traffic anchor Brandy B. Harris tells us more about the two problem spots.
Two similar problems in two different spots, raising safety concerns for two New Orleans residents. One posting a viral video, while the other choosing to call the Road Patrol. But it's the orange cones left unanswered and unrepaired at both spots that's really the worry. So turn up your volume and take a listen. That is the sound of water rushing under the sidewalk near Tulane Avenue and Dorgenois Street. A steady, constant stream of water that's gained millions of views online.
It went viral and everybody continued to keep asking about what's going on and the updates. You know, I put it out there so my city could pay attention and, you know, get everything done that we need to get done.
Andrea Robinson's video has since gained more than 11 million views as people worry that the city is sinking more than ever. The water is still flowing, and many people who work and walk along Tulane Avenue tell us they want to know why an orange cone has been there for months, but there's seemingly no fix.
I pass every day just to see if something different was going to change. Nothing changed.
On Decatur Street in the French Quarter, Hal McLeod says this sinking storm drain has had a big traffic drum in it for weeks.
Every day, not so much today, but every day hundreds, thousands of pedestrians, tourists walk by here. There's a big hole there. I've seen cars run into the hole, and there's been no repair of it.
With the upcoming holiday parade passing close by, McLeod says a fix is needed, not only for vehicle safety, but also for pedestrians.
I think that's a situation we don't want in our great city. We don't want a hole like that on a major street where major parades come through here. That's a hazard for pedestrians and automobiles as well.
While the city expects thousands of spectators for this weekend's holiday parade, McLeod and Robinson are hoping improvements and repairs are made.
I'm invested into it, so, you know, I come over and I check on it. I check and look and make sure nobody's around it because I want people to be safe.
And as I said, the holiday parade will pass on Decatur. Here's a look at the route for the Manning Children's Hospital Holiday Parade, and all those details are posted on our website, WDSU.com.
And Brandy says we did reach out to the city and sewer and water board, but we have not gotten a response about the problem areas.